Hold on. I was gonna try to play a sick lead for my intro, but I did it all wrong. I'll just edit that shit later.
Instead, you just malfunctioned for like just 30 seconds.
Pretty much, yeah. Just scribbled across the top of this thing. I was seriously thought I could probably pull off like a little pitch bend, and it just sounded like absolute just garbage. So
I did a sick saxophone solo, but I muted my microphone for it.
Oh,
so, yeah,
that's unfortunate.
So yeah, this is a podcast that we do sometimes, and we haven't prepared much. So guess what you're getting?
The fruits of our labor. I don't feel like there's been a ton of stuff that's happened. I mean, there's like Comic-Con happened. So like in terms of like the like movie and TV show front, like a lot of stuff happened, right? We got a lot of really great trailers. Yeah. And a lot of announcements that came from that, or a handful of like, gaming announcements that I thought were pretty worthy of mention. But yeah, I mean, I feel like I spent like an hour just sitting on the couch just watching trailers. And by the time I was done, I couldn't remember any of the trailers I had seen.
I spent the entirety of Comic-Con panicking and trying to get videos done.
That sounds fun.
Yeah. But I did, and they went out, so that was good.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I played which video was it? I think it was, I don't know, one of the videos you released like last week, related to the patch. And I played it on the TV downstairs, and I was like, babe, guess who that is? And she's like, I don't know. And I was like, that's Laura. She's like, what? I was like, yeah. I was like, yeah, that's his BFF report voice. He tries, he tries.
Man, I don't know what it was that day. Like, we went in to do the voice recording, and for some reason, I just decided it was time to shout everything.
It sounds so good, man. Like, it gets hype when you do it, and it's funny. It's like,
welcome to World of Warcraft.
That was definitely not it, but I like that. I definitely like that.
I should do one like that.
Mm-hmm.
Demon Hunters!
It's like a demonic... What was that creepy guy from Family Guy? What was his name?
Herbert.
Yeah, it's like a demonic Herbert.
I could do that one, too.
Welcome to the World of Warcraft.
See, it's the same thing. One is just...
Why don't you just sit down over here now? I'm going to tell you all about them demon hunters.
Well, that happened.
Yeah, and you know what? Speaking of... did you watch any of the trailers, actually?
I have no idea what happened
at Comic-Con. Dang. Well, there's some stuff. They announced some trailers for shows that we'll probably all be excited about, and then maybe a very small handful of us will actually watch them.
Yeah, for being on a podcast that we talk about entertainment news, I have no idea what news has happened regarding entertainment lately. I don't know if you've heard, we're releasing an expansion pretty soon.
Yeah, that's pretty much what occupying. Hold on a second. Let's see. /played. 1 day, 21 hours, 40 minutes, 33 seconds of the past week.
Nice.
Just on this character.
Nice.
Obviously, just on this character, but yeah, that's I think that's a pretty good amount of time.
Yeah, that's not bad.
In 1 week.
Yeah.
I have a level 80 shaman.
Oh.
I went the Ellie route, and then I, as well, just like everybody else, realized that it sucks. It's garbage. And so I switched to Enhance, and then I was like, what the fuck? I don't need a Fury Warrior. It's fun, and it gets the job done. It sure as fuck gets the job done. But I rolled a Shaman because I wanted a caster, right? I wanted to do what I was able to do back, I think, in Cataclysm. The first time I rolled a shaman, where I was able to basically run and gun, just constantly running and throwing lightning bolts all over the place, and I just thought it was amazing.
Yeah, can't do that anymore.
Yeah, I can't do that anymore. Resto can. Resto has an ability that will actually.
Oh yeah, Spirit Walker's Grace.
Yeah, so you can you have like 15 seconds something like that where you can basically run around.
Yeah.
You're not like pew pew and shooting like bad guys, but you could use it to throw down on some heals.
Yeah, that's been in the game for almost 5 years.
But you can't do that on an Ellie. Like you should be able to.
You could until recently, and then they were like, "No, you have to stand still."
Man,
and I was like, "Yeah, hold still, fuckers.
Hold still and try to build up Maelstrom." Oh, the thing is dead already. Okay, hold still. Try to build it. Oh, it's dead already. Hold still. Start cast. Oh, it's dead already. That's the experience of Ellie Shaman.
That's the experience of Ellie Shaman questing at level 80. Okay, I'm gonna blow your mind right now. Things are a little bit different once you get to max level.
So these are the things that I noticed, and I know that I understand that, right? I've been playing WoW long enough, right? Like it's like, okay, I'm leveling. I can't really speak to end game experience. However, when I go to the forums and I see the exact same complaints from other people, and then some, I see things that I was like, okay, yeah, I don't know what the fuck they're talking about because I'm not at 150 or whatever the fuck. So it's like I don't know what the impact of that, the utility or whatever it is they're complaining about. But I do understand the lack of Maelstrom and being able to build that up as an Ellie Shaman, especially when I could switch over to Enhance and I'm just fucking skeeting Maelstrom like all over the goddamn place. Like it's max, like full rage bar constantly.
Yeah, it's kind of a different mechanic between, like, for Enhance, it's like you build and spend it super quickly, and for Ellie, it's a lot slower.
But Resto is pretty bomb, dude. I'm not gonna lie. I wasn't really big into healing, but kind of liking it.
Yeah.
And I haven't even touched my rogue or my warrior yet. And I've heard good things about warrior, which I feel like what people are saying is what is it? Something about pain suppression or something. Where they could basically reduce like
ignore
pain. Yeah, people are saying, "Oh, it's the best thing ever. It's like you're basically invincible." And I was like, "Don't worry, it'll be balanced once you hit max level again." It's like one of those things. Like it might be amazing now, but
as soon as the sentence ends with "you're basically invincible," that's when you can say, "This is gonna get nerfed." I don't actually know if there's any ignore pain nerfs coming. I don't actually know if it makes you invincible.
Disclaimers.
Yeah,
you need them.
But so you said like. Oh, you said you were saying how you didn't need a Fury Warrior because you had your Enhancement Shaman.
Yeah.
And in my head, I was like, what?
Really?
That seems backwards. And the reason is Fury is so fucking good now.
I've seen these guys.
It's so much fun. Oh, man. Like, the big thing really... I'm going to gush about my own game for a minute. The big thing is they just did amazing stuff with the animations. So now when you're a Fury Warrior, like used to be, you push Whirlwind, you do like a little pirouette, you act like a ballerina for a second, some stuff takes damage, you're like, whatever, fucking Whirlwind. This is bullshit filler, everybody hates this. Now, man, you push Whirlwind and your dude like spins around, like both arms going in different directions, swords swinging around all over the place. And like there's an ability, Rampage, that it's basically you just go fucking crazy on whatever your target is for like 3 seconds. You have to give it a try. The feel of Fury right now just really feels good.
Oh wow, shit. Oh, there's too many things. Like, I mean, you guys gave rogues guns, like a pistol, which I'm sure Darnell will love. I've already experienced it on the receiving end. These fucking
be like, oh, break yourself.
Yeah, these fucking like on the receiving end of these rogues, right? It's like when I was rolling on my shaman, like lower level PvP, and I just see these guys running around, just pow, pew, pew, and I'm like, really? I have like 0 gap closers. Fuck. But yeah. I haven't had a chance to really experience a whole lot other than just leveling to 80, almost exclusively through dungeons and a little handful of questing here and there.
Nice.
I think you and I kind of hashed out the transmog thing.
Yeah.
I have a couple complaints about that though, if I may.
Oh, I'm sure you do. Yeah, go for it.
So
I will note down all of your feedback.
no, I'm sure you have a response for all of this already. Because I'm pretty certain I'm not the only person that's brought this stuff up.
What? No one's been talking
I
about
know
transmog.
what. So I mean, I understand I understand a lot of the things. I think the first thing, my initial reaction was just like everybody else. It was like, well, hold on a second. I already unlocked these things. Why aren't they available on such character? Right? Especially when you roll a new character, when you have never fucking touched a male wearing character before, right?
Right.
So here I am with the shaman where I don't have anything in my collectibles except for cloaks and weapons. And even that is pretty scarce, right? Well, the weapons were because like axes or something, whatever. Anyway, so then so my initial concern was like, this doesn't make any sense. Like I already have these things. I have all this great male gear, sub 40 male gear on my warrior. Back when it was, which I guess was like a week and a half ago, when it was kind of a thing to wear male as a sub 40 warrior. And now none of that stuff is unlocked. And some of the stuff is relatively rare. Like I could buy, relatively rare meaning like, it costs like 1,000 gold or something like that to buy a new one out of the auction house. So there's a couple of things where it's like, damn, like I worked hard to get some of this stuff. And now it's like, well, all that male gear I have where I could have probably used it on my shaman, it just kind of goes to waste.
Yeah, that is weird. I agree. I don't really know anything about that situation, but it is like the whole switch from wearing mail and then switching to plate to wearing mail and switching to plate. No, I'm saying this backwards. Whatever. That whole switch, some weird stuff happened with transmog that I don't entirely.
They basically made it so that classes don't have they don't do the transition, the armor transition.
Yeah. That I know.
Yeah. Okay.
It's just it did some stuff with transmog that I don't entirely know how that ended up shaking out.
Some things got converted to plate or something like
exactly.
that. And yeah,
some things are plate, some things are mail, but I guess you didn't unlock them, even though they're. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
It definitely caused some confusion initially, and it was funny because I tweeted that out and. Yeah, that was like 4 days ago, something like that. And it's funny. I hate it when I tweet something, and then I'll usually post like a resolution. Usually I reply to my own tweet. I'm kind of like, okay, so this is what it is. This is what it is. Great. People will still tell me what it is. It's like I'm like, hey, this is weird. Why is such and such and such? And then I'll reply to myself, okay, so it's this. Okay, well that sucks. And then I'll get responses. Hey, Mike, it's this. It's like, hey, I appreciate it, man. I know. Hey, Mike, it's this. Fuck. Yes, I know. Thank you.
Yeah, like I just bought myself a 1070. And like I tweeted, I was sitting on my couch and I was like, I want to buy this 1070. Like I had picked one out, which was an EVGA card, which I've generally bought EVGA in the past. I've been pretty happy with them, so I was like, I'll buy EVGA. I know the brand. I want this 1070, and I just like tweeted. I was like, "Hey, how do you guys Twitter? How do you feel about this card?" Just because that's how paranoid I am with buying computer parts. I'm always like, I need to figure this out.
Sure.
Need to get all the input I can get. And basically, immediately, everyone was like, "Yes, buy it. That's a good price, and that's an amazing card." So I was like, "Okay." Like 10 minutes later, I bought the thing. For the past 2 days, I keep getting. Yeah, the 1070 is really good. You should pick it up. It's like, yeah, it's already in my computer, guys. Thanks.
You know what it is? I don't blame them. It's totally the Twitter algorithm.
Yeah.
Like especially when you check on mobile, and it's like right there. I've done that. I think I did that actually to. I think I did it to Olivia once on something. I made a comment on something and it was like, wait, that's really old, and also like not the right tweet. I don't know. But like it just happens where it's like, oh, these are things that you missed, and it's like, motherfucker, like it's weird like commenting on a day old tweet. It's like that's a long time ago already.
Well, and it's because Twitter prioritizes stuff that gets high engagement rates in the while you were away or whatever it was sort of thing. So it's like, oh, a whole bunch of people replied to this tweet, and Twitter isn't going to look at it and then go, let's check and make sure they didn't then tweet something as a reply to that 10 minutes later that resolved it. They're just going to go, wow, this was a really successful tweet. We should alert more people to this tweet because it was apparently a very good one.
Like, fave if blank, retweet if blank. Man, this is such an innovative tweet. We're getting so much response out of this.
That's why people do shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's kind of crazy, the amount of things, like the amount of annoying bullshit stuff that happens on social media because of the way that social media works, like because of the way of the actual algorithms work. Like, did you know that tweets will show up higher in those sort of in the Twitter algorithm? They will show up more regularly if there's a GIF in it versus a static image.
I didn't know it was weighted like that.
Yep. That's why pretty much fucking everybody right now is putting GIFs into fucking everything. Not because GIFs are cool, which, GIFs are pretty cool, but like you could have a GIF that is the same frame 12 times. If you just want a static image, it's more intelligent for you to do a GIF that's the same frame 12 times than it is for you to do a static image.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Right.
It's funny shit.
And they also, I mean, just as a side note, Twitter also just, I got a notice when I hopped on Twitter one morning on my phone, that you can actually now record up to like 180 seconds, something like that, a video, and post that.
Yeah.
On Twitter, which is
cool.
That's an insane like amount of video for a service that only allows 140 characters.
Yeah. They also, they've finally gotten around to opening up, the checkmark verification to everybody. You can apply for it.
I got denied.
Did you?
Yeah. Did you get approved?
I didn't even apply.
I'm
too good for checkmarks.
I got declined, and so did Darnell.
That's funny.
After I got declined, I was like, well, let's see if I could get Darnell approved.
They must have been like, this guy. No one gives a shit about this.
You know what I said? No, you know what I said? I said that it was an influential person or character, whatever, in the World of Warcraft space, so much so that they added a character based on it. And I put that in Discord, and they're like, but the character in the game came first. I was like, I mean, no one's really paying attention to these. Chicken or the egg or whatever. It's like, yeah, and they declined it, so someone there might play WoW.
Yeah, probably. I should apply. See if just being a WoW community manager, they'll just be like, yeah.
I'm sure you can
verify that shit.
I'm absolutely sure you probably can.
I legit just haven't gotten around to it.
Mm-hmm.
I probably should, just because, like, every once in a while, someone like comes up with some weird way to, like, I think there was an account for a while that's now been closed, which was Devlore, because people spell my name wrong all the time.
That's a really good excuse to get a verified. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, yeah, like they were. This was even prior to being at Blizzard, but they copied my my profile picture and everything, and were like tweeting at people, like replying to people who tweeted at me with random shit.
Wow.
Yeah. Which was funny. Made me feel really cool with my like 8K followers at the time.
The other thing that related to WoW that I want to bring up is the Action Cam thing.
Yeah. So let's talk Action Cam.
Yes, please. And also I had to add something to the list. Yeah, that.
Okay.
So
I don't know that there's much that I can say about that thing that you just added to the list.
Well,
so.
it's live right now, so.
Yeah. I meant not that it's a topic that I can't talk about, but that I don't know anything about it.
Oh, cool. That's even better then. It's even better. It's a specialty here. So Action Cam is probably the coolest fucking thing that has been added to WoW, like vanilla. Stock, I should say.
It is cool. Yeah.
It is. I had, there's some tweaks that I had to make myself. Turn off the head bob. But that was actually it. Like the head bob kind of killed me, especially when you're playing an undead who runs relatively quickly, and you know how much they bob when they run.
Yeah.
so it was pretty fucking hard. Um, so leveling up a brand new character from that low. Now, I typically always, even before, especially when I was PvPing, I was always relatively close to the action because I wanted to see everything that was happening, right? Because when you're zoomed all the way out in PvP, you're just looking at a cloud of particle effects. You're really not seeing what everybody's doing. And so it was always pretty close anyways. What I love about Action Cam, especially like the follow function is, and this is like as a healer, the tank is almost always in perspective as he moves around. And my character will shift sides depending on, and this is the same for for whatever your target is. As your character is moving around, it will slowly tilt as your head looks at whatever that is that you're selecting. I think it's fucking cool. I am upset that it's going away because it's being turned on accident. I'm going to, in good faith, put my trust in Blizzard that it will come back.
Well, that's the plan. That was what we posted as well.
Yes.
Is that so? Like right now, the issue 100% is it's being turned on for people. We don't know how it's being turned on for people. We don't know if like some add-on that a whole bunch of people have installed is just turning it on and not telling people. Mm-hmm. We don't know if there's some bug in the game that's randomly switching it on for certain people. Like we don't know why it's turning on.
Right.
And it is giving people motion sickness because, like you were just saying, like with the head bob, like if you turn this thing on, if this thing is on, like if someone came to your house theoretically, switched the thing on and then left, you'd have no fucking idea what happened, but you'd know that now you can't play this video game anymore.
Right.
So something is happening that's causing this thing to get turned on. We don't know what that is. So we're switching it off until we can put something in the game. I say we, until the devs can put something in the game that like makes it easier for people to know is on and switch off. Like a fucking dialogue box can pop up and say, you're about to switch on action camera. It may cause motion sickness. Do you want to do this? Mm-hmm. And you can click yes. And then there you go. Yeah, like that's the big thing is just making like, cause right now, you have to know this console command to switch it off. And if you're one of the people that doesn't go to the forums and doesn't put in CS tickets when something is broken, which is a lot of people, what's happening right now is you're feeling sick and you don't know why.
Yeah. All you know is that WoW makes you feel sick and they made some change and then you may or may not come back.
Yeah, exactly.
I definitely armchair dev'd it last night because I love it so much. I am being very passionate about it. So when I saw that it was going away, I was like, no, like this is the thing I love. No, fuck you. I don't care about you. Fuck those guys. They can get sick. I don't care about them. Like I definitely armchair dev'd like a solution, which was I was like, yeah, they could just make it so whenever you relog, it's going to reset the camera. But then like thinking about it, it's like the dev time to put that in, and then also people who have specific camera settings anyways. If you're complaining about this camera, like there's probably people out there who are going to complain just as much as if their camera is reset every time they come in. Because if you notice, for those of you guys who play the game, whenever you log in and out, your camera's always exactly where you left it. So if you zoom in and you get some nice kind of framed shot of like Orgrimmar as you stand on top of one of the buildings or something like that, if you log out, log back in, it'll be exactly right where you left off. So I want it in at all costs. I don't want it to go away at all costs.
Yeah, so like the whole reason, like it was never supposed to be accessible. Basically, Action Cam came out of a designer a while back who had some extra time, was just like, I'm gonna try this and see what it can do, and just came up with this cool camera thing that used some other like camera tech we already had, etc. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
But basically, like designer just sort of came up with it, and we were like, yeah, that's pretty cool. But we like never told anybody how to activate it. So it's been in the game. It's been in beta since like the beginning of beta. That it's been there for Legion. Since alpha actually, I believe. But nobody knew how to turn it on. And then there was one build that it for some reason just got stuck on. And maybe this is why it's just like, maybe that's the reason it got stuck on is somehow related to how it's just randomly turning on for some people. but it got stuck on, and there was like one build like that, and everyone was like, whoa, what's going on with the camera? And then like we had to tell people how to turn it off. So that was when like I believe that was when people figured out what the console command was. And then people were like, oh, this is totally cool. And we were like, yeah, okay, whatever. It's this weird alternate way to do things. Maybe an add-on will, and there's already a couple add-ons that are working with it. Maybe an add-on will make this usable for people. It's kind of cool, whatever. We'll just leave it. We were totally fine with just leaving it up until it was randomly switching itself on. So if it is some add-on developer out there who is just randomly switching this thing on and not telling the user...
Fuck you.
Great job, asshole.
Wow.
Yeah. Just general word of advice. Don't make your add-on do crazy shit that your user doesn't like tell your add-on to do.
Mm-hmm.
And then don't tell it. I don't know that it even is an add-on. It may just be a bug in the game. And it's obviously not going to be like the dynamic cam add-on, because people who are installing that are installing it because they want the action cam. If it is an add-on, the problem is it's an add-on that is not a camera changing add-on. Like it's fucking Titan panel or something.
Yeah,
probably
something
not
is
actually
triggering
Titan panel.
something. Yeah.
Yes, some add-on that you would not think is going to mess with your camera is messing with your camera, if that's what's causing it. But yeah, so if some add-on developer did that.
The streaming thing happened today that they put in the alpha or the beta. What was it? I think it was in like alpha like a month ago or something like that. The Facebook streaming.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's live for everybody, because I've not seen any news about it anywhere. I just got a notice. I mean, I have the Battle.net beta thing.
I think Overwatch is doing a thing with it tomorrow.
Okay.
I think I saw a tweet about that.
Yeah, so they basically said Battle.net streaming is available with Facebook Live. They said they will add additional platforms will be available in the future. And I've already, it's funny, I already got a couple of messages from a couple of people talking about how Blizzard is trying to take a chunk out of Twitch, but not directly, because it's not connecting to Twitch. So therefore, they kind of have their own streaming, kind of like NVIDIA Share, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I have it here, and I'm actually going to connect it now. I didn't connect it before because I wasn't sure what it was going to connect to, because when I go to log in on Facebook, it says continue as Michael, and so I click continue. And it says, Blizzard Entertainment would like to post for you. Who do you want to share these posts with? So I'll say, only me, okay? And nowhere in here does it say stream to page.
Yeah.
Which I understand is such a minority thing right now.
Yeah.
Because not everybody has a fan page or a business page or whatever they're going to be streaming to. But man, like I haven't tested it because it just came out literally right before the show. It's triggered a relaunch to update. But yeah, this is interesting that they have their own shadow play type system in here.
Yeah, that's from a dev team that's completely different from any of the dev teams that I work with, which is just the WoW dev team. I don't know why I pluralized that. The WoW development team and the World of Warcraft Twitter development team? I don't know. But yeah, like I don't really know anything about it. I don't know what their goals are. It was something that surprised me when it popped up. I was like, oh, how's that even going to work? Wouldn't they have to work with the game teams to do that? But apparently not. Yeah, it's interesting. I do want to say, Facebook Live, I think, is... So Facebook Live it's not going to be a Twitch competitor.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically taking the ideas that YouTube Gaming was doing, but putting them in a place where the people that want to watch that will actually see it. So what I mean is, YouTube Gaming kind of took the idea... Like, it's because where Twitch is like, be a streamer, be a celebrity, make money through our platform. This is your job now, sort of approach. YouTube gaming really was trying to take the sort of like, yeah, just, show your friends what you're doing sort of angle. And on Facebook, you really are just showing your friends, but your friends might actually see it. And Facebook actually, the way that live streaming works on Facebook, it actually reaches people pretty well, much better than like a Periscope or something like that. So I do kind of think that this could really go in the direction of, like, hey, everybody, check out, I'm playing this game. Look at this thing I'm doing in this game. Like that sort of bite-sized sharing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you're gonna be like, hey, everybody, friend me on Facebook and tune into my live stream at 8 p.m. every weekday, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Donate to me at the link in my Facebook. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's never going to replace Twitch. It's not trying to replace Twitch. It's just trying to be another way for you to another thing in the Facebook ecosystem that lets you share things with your friends.
Yeah, and it did say that other platforms were coming soon.
Yeah.
If
the BattleNet live streaming thing doesn't go to Twitch, I will promise right now I will be shouting at people.
Yeah, I think the perspective to look at this, though, which I think is probably the most interesting, is that this is basically asking everybody if they want to stream very directly.
Yeah.
It's not out yet, so not a lot of people are talking about it. It's not like on the live clients. But once you hit the live client, like, that's everybody that plays WoW, everybody that plays Overwatch, all the Hearthstone. Yep. Heroes, like, I mean, all these games. I should mention StarCraft, Diablo 3 because someone's gonna get upset. But like all these games.
Hey man, Hearthstone.
I did mention that, didn't I?
I don't know if you.
No, whatever. No one plays that on PC, anyways.
That's yeah. That's not a bad point.
But as somebody who streams, I look at it as like, oh, cool, like another thing. But looking at it from the perspective of like my father-in-law plays WoW, so like he's gonna log in and he's gonna see this, and it's like, are people like him gonna be like, hey, yeah, maybe I'll try that? Like, am I gonna hit up, jump off Facebook for something, and then, oh, hey, my father-in-law is streaming WoW right now. That's kind of crazy. Like that I think is cool, because like consoles have the ability to stream, right?
Yeah.
Like all the new gen consoles have the ability to stream, or current gen. So it's pretty common for people on consoles now, I think, to have that ability to share clips or to go live or whatever. But I don't feel like the breadth of reach that people that BattleNet reaches, right, can reach out to, have seen it. Like, I know my father-in-law would be like, what? Okay, sure, we'll give it a shot or something. And that's to me is just crazy.
Yeah. It's very interesting. I think the biggest reason that I'm really into it, especially on Facebook, it's not so much the like, oh, I'm gonna stream this and then my like mother-in-law is gonna see this or something. It's more the like, think back to the legendary of yore, right? Back in like the Cataclysm days.
Uh-huh.
How many times did we talk about the idea of an observer mode for raids?
Oh man.
And we were like, yeah, it'd be cool if you could watch other people in the middle of a raid. There'd be some weird issues they have to work out, and we don't think that the actual game client could probably support it, but it'd be cool.
Mm-hmm.
So the sort of counter to that has always been, well, you could just stream. And the counter to that has been, yeah, but it's a pain in the ass to set up. You need to get like OBS or something. And back at the time, it was a lot more complicated. Nowadays, it's like you need to get OBS, you need to have enough bandwidth, you need to set up a Twitch account, you need to tell people where to go to it, etc., etc. But like, I don't know how common this is in the grand scheme of things, but I'm Facebook friends with all of the people that I play WoW with on a regular basis. I've been playing with the same like group of people since Classic, so yeah, we're Facebook friends. It is really, really easy and convenient if we're doing a raid and it's like, oh yeah, our friend, he has to go early, so he's not going to come to the raid, or he decided to sit out tonight, but he wants to see what we're doing. We had 12 healers and we needed to have less than 12 healers or something, so he's sitting out. He wants to see what's going on. Oh, you just go over to Facebook and I'll stream it there. You click 2 buttons and there you go. Like that to me is kind of the big draw for stuff like this, not the like, because again, if you're gonna go to Twitch, and if you're gonna try to make like a real serious stream out of it, you're gonna use OBS or something. That's how it is on consoles as well. Like, sure, there's the built-in like PS4 streaming thing that puts your cam in the corner and like you can see the chat kind of and everything. But the real serious console streamers have their console plugged into a computer which they stream from. I think it's still going to be the same way for serious WoW streamers. We're not going to see anybody going, oh yeah, I just use the Battle.net streaming, because it's like it'll probably be along those same lines.
Yeah, totally.
What we will see people doing is, hey man, I'm going to do some arenas. You should check this out. And they'll do some arenas and people can watch along. Or there's been a lot of talk in the WoW, thinking about arenas in the WoW PvP community of like, how do you do coaching? Because a lot of people want to, like a lot of like BlizzCon pros and stuff, want to be able to go, hey, pay me for my time and I will teach you to be better at this game, which is something that people do in a lot of different video games. Like StarCraft coaching has been a thing for a long time. The difference is in StarCraft coaching, you're playing a custom game. You're usually playing it 1v1, or you're watching a replay and you're telling people about what happened in this replay. And that's usually how that goes. In WoW, right now at the very least, unless the other person is streaming, you're talking about, okay, well, then I'll do some twos with you and I'll coach you as we do these twos. But then at that point, like, they're gaining rating. And if they're gaining rating and paying you in the process, then you're not coaching. What you're doing is boosting, and that's against terms of service. That's not allowed. So unless you're a shit coach, in which case they're paying you to drop rating, which I don't know if that's against terms of service. Like, seems like it probably still would be, but
yeah,
that's
it's the opposite
weird.
of boosting, right? Like, you didn't really gain anything from it.
Yeah. But yeah, so like from the perspective of, okay, yeah, you queue up with your friends, you queue up with your normal team and stream yourself through either through Facebook, through something like Twitch, like just use the built-in Battle.net streaming thing. Just makes it so easy for them to set that up that you don't need to figure out how to use OBS. You don't need to figure out how to connect it to Twitch or anything. You just push a couple buttons and there you go. That's something that I think is a real potential avenue for the Battle.net streaming thing. I don't think it's gonna change the world.
No.
Like, people that play Blizzard games are already pretty savvy with streaming for the most part. But this could be something that gets a lot of those people who just want to be able to share with their friends, but never wanted to go through all the hassle of figuring out how to set up a stream.
Yeah.
Into it.
Yep.
Yep. Good point. So speaking of terrible noises, by which I mean speaking of... No, wait, actually, I'm going to back this one up a little bit. I'm going to back this up. I'm going to go in a different direction with this
shit.
one.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. So speaking of World of Warcraft, by which I mean speaking of the Legion pre-patch, by which I mean speaking of all the changes that happen, by which I mean speaking of pruning, by which I mean speaking of making things simpler, by which I mean speaking of removing functionality that you may have otherwise had, by which I mean speaking of making something more digestible for the end user. So the Nintendo NX is going to be a portable console with detachable controllers.
Can you really say, speaking of it, well, never mind. I guess I can't really question you on the transitions, I suppose.
Yeah, no, I know this. This is the thing. I wasn't listening to myself. I don't know what I just said.
I kind of missed a whole bunch of what you said, but I just heard pruning and I don't know. So anyways, yes, we have no idea what it looks like. What we can imagine, it's a portable console with detachable controllers. We can imagine how small it is. Let's just guess an iPad, like a regular iPad, I guess. God, they're all different shapes and sizes. Like a Nexus 7.
This guess is easy. This guess is easy. It's the fucking Wii U gamepad.
Oh, yeah, the Wii U gamepad. Yeah.
Yeah.
With detachable controllers.
Yeah.
I could totally see that being a thing. The Wii U gamepad, even in some of the mock-ups that people are making, you basically have these two identical controllers that look almost like SNES controllers with the bumpers.
Yep.
So that is that I could see being a thing. I without knowing more, it's hard to tell. Like,
so here's the thing.
Good.
That really, really interests me about this. So, we know that it's basically a handheld console, has its own display built in. In which case, it's going to be a lot like the. Oh, excuse me. It's going to be a lot like the Wii U gamepad in that respect, where you have this controller you hold on to that has a display in it. It probably either directly plugs into, like maybe it's something where you daisy chain multiple of these things, and that's how you have like multiple people playing on the same couch. Or maybe it plugs into a main box, like there's a sort of Apple TV sort of component to it. There's multiple ways that could work. But what's really interesting to me is that controller thing. It says, at least in this article on Eurogamer, that the controller bits on either side of the screen can be attached or detached as required. That's really, really interesting to me. Because how many games have you played on a mobile device, on like an iPad or even on your phone, where like look at something like Trials Frontier, for example. How cool would it be if you had the touch screen and there was things that you could touch on the screen, but you also had like the actual controls for it when you're doing the actual gameplay?
It's funny you mentioned it because I played it on my Shield Portable, and that's exactly
that's right.
That's exactly the experience that I had, and I loved it. Like that was totally. But here's the thing, though, like that. I mean, maybe you're getting to this point about third-party games and just game support on this, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Like the thing that interests me about the attachable and detachable parts is, what if there's games where you only attach one part of it? Mm-hmm. What if there's games where you have the D-pad and like the left stick because you want to be able to move a character around, but as you're moving that character around, you're like tapping things on the screen, or you have like some sort of like bunch of buttons on the screen that you're tapping on. So you're holding onto the thing in your, say, your left hand, moving around and tapping things on the screen. That's not something that you can really do at all on mobile right now. I guess you could with the Shield tablet if you're only holding on to like half of the controller, but still, like, that's actually kind of cool. There's a lot of different directions that you could go with that sort of thing for mobile gaming.
Yeah. Yeah. I will say that I don't use my I don't travel as much as I used to, so I don't really use my portable as much as I did. But right. I will say that gaming on it was actually a lot of fun. It has a great screen size and the controller aspect and everything, and to be able to mix and match, because there's a lot of games that, you know, basically almost every game you download has to be rigged, right? You have to basically map control like buttons from on the keyboard on the controller to areas of the screen which you would normally tap. Trials Frontier is an example, right? You have the lean left, lean forward, lean back, and then you have brakes and acceleration. So I would basically map, you know, buttons to those areas of the screen, and that would be how I would play. There are other menu options and stuff like that, like when you're in the quest hub area, the town, and you have to select things or like random menu options or whatever, where you basically have this hybrid setup. That whole experience, that hybrid experience, is very cool. It is very cool. But I have access to a shitload of games. So many, and any game I want to play, I can play on that's on Android, which is basically all the games. I can play on the Shield Portable. But if Nintendo is putting out a portable device that is basically, you know, a Shield Portable,
it's a lot more of a Shield Portable than you might expect too, in that from the sounds of things so far, it's actually using the NVIDIA Tegra X1 chip.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
which is what's in the Shield, like the set-top box.
Yeah, exactly. And that's a great portable processor or chip.
Yeah. It's not the new GameCube that a lot of people were hoping for, I think is sort of the big part of it. Like, this isn't Nintendo's proud return to form to compete against the PS4 and the Xbox One. No, this is Nintendo doing another crazy, quirky, off the beaten path thing.
To me, it sounds like a DS, right? It just sounds
Yeah.
like because DS already has the touchscreen stylus and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like unless it is open, like if I could take it and just flash it and then use whatever games I want, then great. I have a new Shield portable. But and if they don't have support for games, and we just get, which I can't complain, right? If we just get another Mario, another Legend of Zelda, and another whatever else, then it's like, okay, that's cool, but is it enough to get me to buy the console? It's the same way with the Wii. Like we talked about this before. Like there's like probably I think like 4 like must-have games for the Wii. That you named them all because you have them. Like Mario Kart 8, the painting game. I fucking can't remember the name right now.
Splatoon.
Thank you, Splatoon. And then like a couple others that were just like really, really good.
Smash. I don't have Mario Maker, but I'm told it's good.
Yes, Mario Maker is good. I have played it extensively and very drunkenly. But yeah, it just to me right now, and yeah, like Can't Heal says in chat, it says gimmick console. Like it does sound like a gimmick until they come out and say, hey, we have like open third party support. We are not going to have our own market or something, which that will never happen. But there's got to be something that says, hey, there's going to be an abundance of game on here that I don't have to worry about. I'm just going to have my standard 8 games, 8 default sequel games or IPs per console.
So here's where this gets exciting to me when you start to like put the pieces together. I don't think comparing this to the Wii U is the right comparison. I think this is better to compare, like you were saying before, to the DS.
Mm-hmm.
And that market Nintendo has been doing really fucking well in for a while. Like if you want to play mobile games other than like smartphone games, you should have a DS. I have a PS Vita because I'm wrong, but you should have a DS. It's not, I have a PS Vita because I wanted to play Destiny while I was at work. Okay, that was why I got a PS Vita. But yeah, if you're into mobile games and you like Nintendo's basic products and you like things like Animal Crossing, or the handful of other like games that the DS has, like there's some good fucking games on the DS.
Mm-hmm.
I would say that there are only the only thing on the Wii U that isn't your basic standard, like, oh, there's gonna be a Mario Kart, it's gonna be good, there's gonna be a Smash, it's gonna be good. Splatoon is probably the only thing on the Wii U that you're really like, okay, this isn't just a gimmicky game, because you're not really using any gimmicks when you play this. Like the most gimmicky it gets is you tap on the screen to pick where you respawn. That's it. You don't even look at the screen otherwise. The Wii U, the gamepad screen. Like that game is actually really, really fun. And it's not just the standard, like it feels like a third party game basically. But I think I don't know why I was talking about that. I think I think the place to look for this is in the mobile gaming market, and the fact that this is now using a Tegra chip means that it will almost certainly be a lot easier for mobile games to take, like the existing smartphone games, to take use of this. And so now I'm like imagining all sorts of crazy things that could happen with this, like say Clash Royale as an example. And we're going back to that idea of you've got one controller and you're tapping on places on the screen.
Yeah.
What if I had the one thing that picked which card I want to play? So I'm pushing buttons to pick a card, and I'm tapping on the screen to pick where to play them. Like, that's pretty cool. And that's the sort of thing that should be pretty easy for a company like Supercell to actually pull off. Or trying to think of another, like fucking Pokemon Go. Like, obviously Pokemon Go because Nintendo. But what if on Pokemon Go, like, you were able to walk around with this thing, and you were both tapping on the screen to do stuff, but also, like, eventually once they add actual, features to Pokemon Go, maybe there's other things going on that you want to be able to, like, use your, I don't know exactly, but, like, just think about a mobile game and then think about how could this be improved by having controllers with it. And if you can come up with features that make sense for that, then that's the sort of thing that would make sense for this thing. And so if basically instead of this being Nintendo's return to form for the like couch console, what if this is Nintendo finally figuring out the right way? And this is theoretic, right?
Sure.
But what if this is Nintendo finally figuring out the right way to make smartphone gaming amazing? I'm excited by the possibilities, I guess is a good way to put it.
Yeah, so am I. I want to have a reason to buy a Nintendo product, and I know that I've said almost that exact same line, probably like 4 episodes ago or something, 5 episodes ago, where it came up, and it's like, I need a good excuse to buy a piece of Nintendo hardware, because I still have my Game Boy Advance out, and it just sits there, and like occasionally I'll fire it up, and I'll play like a whopping 2.5 minutes of something, but it's so good.
Yeah,
but it's like I want to buy. I want another platform. Like I don't have a Nintendo DS. I want one really fucking bad. I really, really, really do. But I also know that comes with, I have to buy all these games for it. Then it becomes, okay, maybe another time. But I just want something that's new. And if this is something that maybe I could play with, and as a dad, maybe my kid could play with too. I want my kid to grow up on Nintendo the way I did. Those characters. He already knows who Mario is.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. You can get Super Mario. I'm looking at GameStop right now because I can. You can get a Wii U. It's only the 8 gig version, but it also comes with Skylanders Swap Force for $172.
Jesus.
Like they're actually really cheap right now, and to me, like if you enjoy Mario Kart, if you enjoy Smash, and if you're interested, like there's a new Zelda game coming out for Wii U relatively soon that looks pretty good. Like you should. I honestly think the Wii U is a good purchase if you are interested in Nintendo games.
Right.
I think the price is low enough at this point that you shouldn't feel bad about buying it just to play those 5 games, because shit, you're gonna pay like maybe $400 total for the whole thing, including all of the games. That's less than just the console.
That is still it's still so that's a lot of money, right?
That's true, yeah. But
I
think if you were to look at it in terms of amount of time you're going to get out of it, amount of enjoyment you're going to get out of it, I think it would end up working out to be worth it in the end.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's a tough sell for right now, just because like ever since getting the Steam Link downstairs, that kind of solves my console in the living room thing. Like I haven't even touched my PS4. It's just that if I'm not gaming at my PC, I'm playing the PC games downstairs. Because of my lifestyle, I'm never mobile anymore. So I don't really need. I don't even play mobile games because I'm never mobile. Pokemon Go doesn't count. So even like as someone mentioned, like you don't have a 3DS. It's like no, I have 3DS. I have emulators for some of my favorite Game Boy games, but that's like it. That's just like everybody else. But it's when I talk about like having a reason to buy this particular consoles, because this one's, to me, this one sounds more like it could be something that my kid would be interested in, because believe it or not, even though he's 3, he does have a preference on how to play his games, and it is touchscreen. Yeah, it is 100% touchscreen. Like I give him the fucking Xbox 360 controller, right, and I'm like, kid, like this is it. Like this is the peak of this generation of gaming. Is this controller right here that they got right? It's like, put it in your hand and touch it, and he's like, no, like whatever. Zero interest.
Yeah, I mean, I've said before, I think that the next generation touchscreen is how they're going to play games. Like other methods aren't going to disappear or anything, but like if you said 10 years ago, oh yeah, people are going to play FPS competitively primarily on console. What? Like, yeah, that's how Call of Duty is played, though. It's on PS4. Like, if you go to an MLG or something where they're playing Call of Duty, they're all on PS4. And that's just because as time has gone on, that's what people, like, that's what these essentially kids grew up playing first-person shooters on, was on console.
Yep.
Also, a lot of very good marketing purchases by Sony. But yeah, I guess I should also mention that like my opinion on whether or not a console is worth it is probably completely invalid because I own a Wii U, an Xbox One, and 2 PS4s because I hate money. I don't know.
Yeah.
And I own a PS Vita. As soon as I said earlier I own a PS Vita, everyone should have just stopped listening to my opinions on consoles to purchase. But I like the remote play, and I like being able to play Destiny at work.
Yeah, remote play is pretty good. Especially because it works on my NVIDIA portable. So I'm pretty much good on that front.
Yeah. So, speaking of... Man, where do I go from here? Speaking of things that I spend money on, I bought a 1070. And I see that there's a thing in here about the 970.
Yep.
So, this is like a class action lawsuit on the 970?
Yeah, so basically false advertisement said it had 4 gigabytes of RAM and only had 3.5. And it was like the biggest, it was the most hilarious, the biggest meme for like a month when everyone kind of discovered it. And so everything was talking about like you basically apply, it comes with 3.5 or something. You know, you basically replace whatever number that something comes with 3.5, right? Kind of like the 5 and 7.
Yeah.
It was just. But the thing is, what was great about it is all this awareness came from it, and suddenly everybody who owned a 970 was like, "Well, hold on a minute, like I'm actually getting like ripped here." So and so, I guess there's like a number of class action lawsuits, which could amount to maybe maximum of 100 people or something like that. But still, it's enough that NVIDIA has caved and said, "Yeah, we're gonna basically refund everybody $30 for their missing 512 megabytes."
Which everyone that gets that $30 will put it towards a 10 series.
Yeah. Mafia Griffin corrected me. He says technically it does have 4 gigabytes, but yeah, the last half gig was basically like, it was like garbage memory or something like that. So
like it needs memory of its own to do its own thing. Like you're not getting. I'm almost positive it will come down to something in the actual phrasing. If you said like 4 gigabytes of video RAM, but half of a gig was used for system RAM instead of video RAM, like that, you can't say that.
Yeah. So if you have a 970, get paid $30.
Yeah, it's interesting because like you would be surprised, or maybe you wouldn't specifically, but I think a lot of people would be surprised just how fucking careful. Like if you're selling a thing. Like this happens a lot with WoW. If we're telling people, yeah, you should totally come and play Legion, like the way we phrase specific things, we have to be so careful with it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not because we're worried, like, oh, we're gonna say there's a dance studio and then there's no dance studio. Like that's dead and gone. At this point.
We're gonna release an expansion every year.
Yeah. Well, so like when we said we're gonna release an expansion every year, like we weren't saying if you give us $50 we're going to release an expansion every year. We're like, oh no, our plan is to come out with an expansion every year, and then that didn't happen. But like the reason we always say things, like we were talking about the action cam thing earlier, and we said, like you said, oh, it's going to come back later, right, or something like that, and I was like, that's the plan.
Wait a minute, now I feel duped. Hold on a second.
Well, here's the thing, like 100%, yes, every single intention right now is that is going to be the case. But on that, 0.01% chance that something ridiculous happens and we find out that, I don't know, Action Cam is deleting parts of the game when we're not looking or something. So we literally can't bring it back for some reason. Or who knows what sort of crazy extraneous circumstances could lead to like the dev team saying, well, I guess actually we can't do that now. We wanted to, but we can't. We can't say, yes, Action Cam will come back. And I made quotes around that, assholes. We can't say... we can't say yes with any... like we can't say it with 100% positive because we can't predict the future. And if we said, yes, Action Cam will come back, and then someone said, all right, well, then I'm going to keep subscribing to your game until Action Cam comes back, and then it doesn't for who knows what fucking reason, then we're on the hook for that. So a lot of times you end up seeing wording where I say, oh yeah, that's our plan, or yep, that's what we want to do. And you're like, well, it's what you want to do, but is it what you're going to do? And it's like, well, no, we can't say that though. Like, we can't say expressly. And there's certainly like shades of gray there. Like, someone in my chat is asking, didn't someone say it will be back in a tweet? And like, where that message comes from is important. Like, if it comes from a developer's personal account, that's different than if it comes from official messaging put out by the company. It's like there's so many legal minefields to dodge with stuff like this.
And this is actually what I was talking about last night. Someone was asking about something that we talk about on the show. And I said that sometimes there are things that we don't talk about because even though it's our little bullshit ass show that we do, lore is always a representative of the company, especially when we talk about things that company produces.
Yeah.
So anything he says can be used as an official statement, right?
Yeah.
In somebody's eyes. And so that's why we have to, not talk about things sometimes, which sucks because, Legendary, we obviously didn't give any fucks, but yeah, it makes perfect sense. You have to be careful. We've all seen how rabid some people can get over things like that.
Yeah. Well, that's like it's so funny. Like we'll be trying to say something so that people think we mean the thing that we want them to think, which is like, obviously we want people to think that yes, Action Cam is coming back, but we can't say that because who knows? So, yeah, it's funny. I don't know why I don't know where the rest of that sentence went, but yeah. It's just really interesting, like the number of I wish I had a better example than just Action Cam of something that has like already run its course. I guess like Flight and Draenor would probably be a good example. Like we were saying for ages, we're not sure yet if Flight and Draenor, we're not sure yet on Flight and Draenor, and like we were sure at multiple points that yes, Flight and Draenor was going to come back. And we were pretty positive when it was going to come back for a while. But we weren't positive enough to say it because we hadn't yet found out for certain if it could.
Right.
Because there was a whole bunch of weird shit that went on. You remember when Draenor launched, when Warlords launched, and like 1 billion people were playing the game? Not 1 billion, but like
roughly
a whole lot
give
of
or
people.
Give or take 999
give or take,
million.
Yeah, give or take the entire population of the Earth was playing the game. It was like, okay, a lot of people are playing this, so we need to do some weird hacky shit to make the servers work. And the weird hacky shit we did for reasons that are like hashtag developer code. Sometimes code is crazy, man. It like totally broke the way flying worked.
Mm-hmm.
And so there was weird shit like, okay, when you go from this sub area of the game, not even like zones, but if you go from this little section, you go from the fields of butt to the shores of ass.
Uh-huh.
Like, I don't know, like just literally moving throughout a zone could just randomly dismount you because the game was like, oh, you're in this section now. We have to do all this weird hacky shit in the background to make sure that things work properly. And that broke everything. So we weren't 100% positive we'd be able to fix all those issues. We wanted to. We were planning to. Everyone was working to. But we were like, we can't say this yet. So we had to like string people on for ages. Like, I don't know. Maybe the flight will come back. Maybe it won't. Because we had no idea. So it's funny. It's interesting. Yeah.
Yep. It's rough being a community manager for such a big IP.
It's turned me into a giant asshole.
It's funny. I don't feel like, and I don't take this the wrong way, I don't feel like you've changed since you started working for Blizzard. I really don't.
I've definitely become.
You may in your head feel like you're a bit more salty veteran or something, but
yeah, maybe I'm just not any different. Maybe I was always a salty asshole, which sounds painful, by the way.
Oh God.
But yeah, no, I've recently been noticing myself increasingly making like jokes about how everyone's going to die alone or something. I don't know.
Oh
like,
God.
I was scrolling. Have you seen the Nihilist Arby's
No.
Twitter account?
No.
Oh my God, it's so good. And the fact that I find it this hilarious. Hang on, I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna read you a couple.
Okay.
You are going to enjoy this. I promise you.
God. Oh Jesus.
I hadn't seen this one before, but so it's this account that like pretends to be an advertising platform for Arby's. It's not affiliated with Arby's in any way.
Uh-huh.
But they're just so like on the nose with hilarious bullshit. So their most recent tweet was yesterday. It says, "For those of you who care about things, we offer several sandwiches that strongly resemble Bernie Sanders. Enjoy Arby's."
What?
Yeah. There was one that I retweeted the other day that I thought was amazing. It said, "Arby's was extremely inspired by Melania's RNC speech last night. Arby's, eat fresh." Because, that's the Subway.
Oh, yeah.
slogan.
Okay.
Yeah. Hang on. I'm gonna find one. I'm gonna find one that more fits the fits the nihilist Arby. Okay, here we go. "This Father's Day, run out for a quick beef and cheddar and never come back. Enjoy Arby's."
Oh.
This is the sort of
fits, that definitely fits the name a bit more, I think.
Yeah, exactly. People keep asking, why would a kind God kill innocent babies? Miss the point. There's no God. Babies are weak as shit. Everything dies. Enjoy Arby's.
Wow. All right, some of these are pretty funny.
It's so dark. It's so dark.
Yes, it is. It's yeah. I mean, it kind of plays into the whole scheme. I get it. Okay, how do we get on this subject?
I'm an asshole.
Oh, that's right. It's so you.
I've lost all faith in humanity.
Deflected to a.
Yeah.
This is the reason.
It wasn't deflecting. It was more of I was realizing the other day, I really shouldn't find this as funny as I do. What is wrong with me? Yeah. And then I looked at Twitter and I remembered. Okay. So speaking of the inevitable death of you and everyone you love.
Jesus Christ.
So Sonic Mania was announced.
What the fuck?
I don't know, man.
Sonic Mania, 25 years.
Yeah. I heard that I didn't see it, but I heard that their stream did not go well.
I heard that too. I did not watch the stream. Goddamn, I should have actually. Sonic Mania announcement. Yeah, I heard like everyone was talking about how what of a shit show it was, but that's it's funny. I didn't even bother watching because it just felt like that's like every other fucking gaming stream.
I guess they were having some audio issues.
Right. Oh, that's right. Yeah, the crowd. You can only hear the crowd. Oh god, the whole thing was a mess. I do remember that. But that's like every other stream though. It's every other like gaming company stream. They get up there and it's just like, okay, well, this is gonna be a shit show.
Yeah. But anyway, they announced Sonic Mania.
Mm-hmm.
Which from the bits that I've read about it so far, it sounds like it's like this went. Hang on. You guys, hang on. So we've released a whole bunch of Sonic games in the past like 10 years that have all been shit. Maybe we should go back to when we used to make good games. That kind of seems like the idea. Am I wrong?
Yeah, it's basically like Mega Man 9. When Mega Man
Right.
9 was brought out, it was like, hold on a second, like
Yeah.
first off, there haven't been too many really bad Mega Man games. But then again,
Yeah.
when you're like buckshotting it, where you have like 20 Mega Man games, it's kind of hard to really,
Yeah.
Yeah, they went back and they have this completely. It looks like it was released on the Genesis in 1996 or 1995.
Yeah, I'm down with it. Like the big thing about Sonic the Hedgehog, like I'm watching their video at the moment. They keep like tabbing, they keep going to the bullshit games, and it's pissing me off. But the thing about the Sonic games, like the original Sonic games, right? It was when you figured out a level, like on the 12th time that you played through it or whatever, and you figured out, okay, I can jump at this point. Like it was the original speedrunning game.
Yes, yeah, I'll agree with that.
It was like you figured out the path through this. And once you had the path through it, you went, okay, I'm going to push right. And at these certain points, I'm going to press jump. And at these certain points, I'm going to press down. And I'm just going to fly through this fucking level. And it's going to be the coolest shit.
Yeah.
And it was the coolest shit. Like, you felt like such a badass when you could just float your way through the entire level and not give a shit, basically. So the fact that this is being made by not Sega and by not Sonic Team, to me means, okay, this is going to be made by people that loved the game. And so, loved those original games. And so maybe we'll actually get a good Sonic game out of this.
It's possible.
Kind of like how Pokemon Go was not made by Nintendo.
Yeah. Look at that. It's on mobile devices and it's on...
Yeah. Did you hear? Sorry, not to.
Go ahead.
Not to
No, it's
interrupt.
fine. Go ahead.
Did you hear that Nintendo's stock has dropped again?
Yes.
Pretty rapidly.
And you know why, right?
Because everybody figured out that they didn't make Pokemon Go.
And it's not just that. It's that they only own like a third of the company, and they license it out, so they're not actually pulling profits from it. They will be turning profits off of the Pokemon little adapter thing that they're making, the little button,
Right. Yeah.
whatever that thing is. But other than that, yeah, they inevitably they do stand to make money off of the product, of course. But it's not going to be proportional to the amount of hype that the game has.
And it's not going to be proportional to Niantic made a good fucking deal.
Yes, they did.
They are bound to be pretty happy with this arrangement.
Yeah, no, they definitely scored hard on this, and it is kind of funny to see the stocks, because I was just like, oh man, that's crazy, and it wasn't until the details were leaked about how they licensed it that everyone was like, oh well, shit.
Yeah.
Sell.
Yep. So yeah, I think that pretty much covers. Oh no, we missed this one. So speaking of things that are strange, everyone's been talking about Stranger Things. I haven't seen it. Should I? I heard that you said that you'd seen it.
It's good. Yeah, it's super good. I feel like the casting was really, really well done. Winona Ryder is fantastic. One of the kids, usually when they cast child actors, it's just like you automatically are like, yeah, well, they're kids, they're probably not gonna be very good actors. And so whenever they do something that's like cringy, it's kind of like, well, they're kid actors, I'll let it slide, right? In this case, these are definitely above par kid actors, and one of them is just fucking great.
Nice.
He just you'll know when he's the kid that has no teeth because of something, right? Like he actually has some kind of thing in real life where he doesn't grow his teeth out until later or something, I don't know. But man, he is just the fucking best. All the other casting for everybody is also superb. It's a very short series. It's like eight episodes, I think. And if you have, was it 45 minutes each, times 8, if you have a day, basically, you could just knock the whole thing out. It is a really, really great experience of a movie, for sure. Like, it's just kind of a suspense thriller. Super good.
Nice. Is it so it being a suspense thriller, those tend to be really hit or miss for me.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times they're like, when we're gonna throw in a whole bunch of jump scares, and I just don't like jump scares.
Maybe there's a couple in the 8 episodes,
Okay.
but for the most part, it's not so much. The suspense is not so much about. I mean, I don't want to give anything away, right? You're gonna get. There's definitely a lot of suspense. It has to do with surrounding, like trying to figure out where this kid went, right? And then once you discover it, then exploring that, like whatever that thing is, or whatever that's, whatever happened to the kid. So first it's like, what happened? Okay, now we have to explore how it happened, and there's just all these questions that you have, and most of them are answered. And then that, I'm not gonna say anything else. But all I say is that it's definitely worth the time. I guess there's someone in the chat saying there's a few jump scares, but it's not. It doesn't rely heavily on it. It's not at all a jump scare movie or show.
I can put up with a jump scare here and there. I just get annoyed when it's like, oh, this is so scary, and then it's just loud noises suddenly. I'm like, this isn't scary. This is startling.
It's about it's about it. It's kind of like Jurassic Park.
Okay.
Where it's like there are a couple of jump scares here and there, but it's really kind of surrounding like this greater thing that they kind of slowly introduce to you over the course of the 8 episodes.
Okay, cool. I will have to give that a try then.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I've run out of things to talk about.
I had a PSA. If you guys have PS Plus, Rebel Galaxy is available in August. So
cool.
Rebel Galaxy is probably one of my favorite games. I just no life like 24 hours into it, and nice. Like almost straight. I feel like super fun game, and you could beat it in much less time than that. But there's all these side quest stuff you could do, and all this market stuff you can manipulate. But it's free on PS Plus, so if you have it, just go make sure you tag it. I am terrible at doing that. I have PS Plus, and I almost fucking never go and get the goddamn free game. And I'm going to have to remember to do it this time. It's totally worth it.
Nice. Yeah. I get the free games every month because that's the only way to enjoy a PS Vita.
That's actually a really good point. Like, oh, man. Wait, if I get a PS Vita, will it retroactively add all the... Or is it just from that point on?
No, everything that has crossplay you will have.
Okay, but what about like the Vita games that you get with PS Plus?
So you won't get the ones that were only on the Vita, but there's lots of PS Plus games that have crossplay onto the Vita that you will also be able to play on your Vita at that point.
Okay. Okay, cool. Just curious.
Yeah.
Well, all right. I am in Vashir right now, so I guess I'll go ahead and log and put the show together and go play more WoW, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. I'll probably be up a bit longer playing some WoW at this point.
Okay.
All right,
yeah, I'll see you. Am I hanging up on you now? Wait.
Are we hanging up to end
the
show?
Are we hanging? You hang up.
Are we okay, I guess we're ending the show by just hanging up.
No, you hang up.
Fine. Fucker.